Why do so many white people get on podcasts? Why do so many white people get on podcasts, get on TikTok, and talk about how their children don't bathe or how they don't bathe? I feel like there's something to discuss here about whiteness and how it is viewed as clean and pure and better and primary and default. And really, the history goes to show that white people have always been disgusting. Indigenous people, African people, they were bathing, and many of them noted that the first sign of Europeans was their stench, that they were just putrid. And I do think a lot of the reason why people of color in America are so clean, smell so good, have to have their hair done, have to have their makeup done, is because of upward mobility, because the standard for them is so much higher than it is for white people. Like, white women can just walk into Target with a messy bun and sweatpants, and it's like, oh, look at her, like, she could be a multi-millionaire, her husband could be an entrepreneur, yet a black woman is not afforded that same luxury. So I really feel like white women are just rubbing that level of privilege in when they go on podcasts or come on TikTok and talk about how their kids don't bathe.
I can't go into 2024 without making sure everyone knows this. I realized why, as white people, we are not typically taught to wash our legs. And it's because the people who have been teaching us how to function as adults believe in trickle-down economy.
I don't say we avoid bathing, but we bathe very rarely.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that you're talking about this.
Yeah.
She didn't have a bath for 5 months of her life.
Yeah, we didn't bathe her for the first whole part of her childhood. And now we basically bathe her as she asks for it because it's fun, or she's
Really
exceptionally dirty.
We really wanted to keep her skin microbiome as healthy and intact. Even if it's just rinsing with water, our water has chlorine in it and all kinds of other preservatives and different chemicals that I just didn't want to expose her to.
This show and being married to my wife has opened me up to so many more thought processes like this, because I think so many of us are conditioned. But if you really strip it down and think about it, obviously we lived this way naturally for a very long time. I think you put up the commercial city constraints and people change their behaviors. It's coming back to a more primal way of life.
Now that you guys are saying this, that makes a lot of sense to just let it be. And I feel like as a mother too, you have intuition to know when they need a bath.
Do you use a washcloth?
No, me either.
I think
disgusting.
Am I scrubbing my body with a washcloth?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I know. I think we're.
That is like a UTI waiting to happen.
I think we're in the minority. I really do. No, I think we are.
People use washcloths?
I think so.
For their body?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What are you washing your butt with?
My hand. I mean, what? I would never. I would never.
I'm crying.
Would never do that.
No,
I'd burn the wash.
I remember being told that I don't need to scrub my legs because the soap runs down my body. I remember being told that I didn't need to shower today because we had swam at the lake. I remember being told that shampoo is fine because it runs down, it washes everything. I don't remember being told how to clean my vajayjay. I remember being not the only white girl in the army learning how to wash properly from the black girls. And they laughed a little bit too, but they stood with us and taught us with love. My mother-in-law has taught me more about myself than my actual mother did. I'm not gonna laugh at you because you don't understand the context of these messages. It is listen to black women and protect black women till I die.
Hygiene is definitely cultural. It's a cultural thing and it's a cultural issue. So me, I have properties that people live in, or they short-term lease in or long-term lease in. And I can tell you the most cleanest people that I've came across, you think what you're gonna think, but I'm gonna tell you just from my experience. I've had different ethnicities live in certain places or short-term live in certain places that I have, okay? I could say the most cleanest people who take pride in their appearance and how they treat things that are nice, in their, how just wherever they're living, they take care of it, is black people. It's black people. Unless it's wealthy white people, okay, who are older. Then I've came across people who are wealthy staying at short-term rentals. They know how to care about things properly, but black people be extremely clean. They take so much pride in their appearance and how they treat things. Even some of the black, I hate saying black on here. It sounds so weird, but some of the people that I've worked with, they're extremely clean with even personal items. Like, I remember I had one lady and her man, they stayed somewhere, and they had she had, I don't know how her hair was, but she said she laid her towels on the pillows at one of my short-term properties, so that she wouldn't stain up the white pillows. And when she had her monthly, she laid her towel.
What?
No, I said that
Right in our appearance and how we clean our body.
My children probably bathe maybe once a week.
Can you talk to him
Maybe,
about
and
this?
they don't use. I mean,
Michael's a fourth Japanese. He
One
thinks they have
time-
to bathe every day. Can you?
One time we had somebody on and they were talking about this, and when the clip went viral and they said we were abusing people, I was like,
oh Lord.
they said something about privilege too. I was like, what? I didn't know
No,
how that
I
works.
said
were they
that I
doing?
did delayed bathing with both my kids.
After they were
Yes,
born.
that's because why would you need to? Why are they dirty?
Talk to us about how you only bathe your kids once a week. I want to know more about that.
Well, first off, I just let my kids do what they want to do. I have 4 children. I'm not going to fight with my kids over little stupid things like bathing.
Agreed.
What's the
Agreed.
age gap again?
Almost 10, 7, 5, and 2.
Woo, you're in it.
Yeah.
So you don't make them bathe every day. You'll just do when they want to once a week.
If it's once a week, like now they swim. We have a pool and they swim in the summer. So I guess we call that bathing. So it's probably even less than that, but no, we tell it like our kids have autonomy over their bodies and their rooms, assuming, and they can make all the choices around that, assuming they're safe.
Do you wash your legs in the shower?
No.
I do it if I have like plans.
Maybe I need to work on that.
My legs, bro, I wash my whole body.
Yes, and yes. What kind of question is that?
You have to. So why your legs specific?
Because I find in the white English culture, people say there's no need.
They don't wash their legs?
No. Like,
Their legs like down here?
What other legs you know, bro?
The only thing as a man that you pay special attention to is this area and the little armpits, and that's it.
So you see washing legs as like an effeminate thing?
I'm not going to go on record saying it's effeminate, but I've never seen a man take special care for their legs, you know what I'm saying?
How come they don't wash their legs?
Jason said it's not needed.
Well, that one is strange, man, because once I go shower, I got to wash from my head to my toe.
I even wash the walls to make sure.
But I'm going to say no, unless I shave.
Well, yeah, I do. Yeah, doesn't everybody?
No, a lot of white people don't.
A lot of white people don't, apparently. Wash their legs in the shower.
That's a bit mad, I wash my thighs. Obviously, I do the balls, do the thighs, but sometimes I leave the shins in that, bro, and then I wash my feet. So, yeah, weird one, that.
Like, that is disgusting. I'm sorry. I grew up taking a bath every single night. My parents brushed my hair every single night, brushed my hair every single morning. It wasn't that big of a deal. When I got older, I was given deodorant and face wash, and that, like, I have actually been showering twice a day, often, like, especially in the summer, morning and night showers, especially if I'm pregnant. Sometimes I would shower 3 times a day. Like, wash yourself. My sons do not go to bed unless they're clean. I don't want their dirty bodies in their bed. And then every time they get into bed, it's dirty from the day. That's just my own opinion. But I do think that the larger discussion here about whiteness and why white people love to bring it up, love to talk about it. It's like they know somewhere that they are given the power to not have to bathe their kids and still be given so many privileges.
What do you bathe with when you're taking a shower? Let's find out what the boys use. What do you bathe when you take a shower?
Towel.
Washcloth. What about you?
My hands.
Okay.
The rest of this video confirms that most white dudes apply body wash with their hands in the shower. I was the same. But let me show you something that I think all people, mostly white dudes, should use in the shower to apply body wash. So I went from using my hands, just with body wash on it, where I could reach, to a bar of soap, which, big improvement, to this exfoliating washcloth. And when I tell you, the first time I experienced this, it was incredible. I can't ever go back. This is the best. You have it. You can scrub the soap right here, and then guess what? Scrub all down your back. Scrub all down your back, baby. That's it. It's incredible. So, white guys, from another white guy, get an exfoliating washcloth and clean your body, you dirty mother. Get one.
A white teacher was asking for stereotypes, and I said white people don't bath.
Hey!
And then she sent me to the principal.
Hey! But let's be honest, because honesty is a great policy.
It is.
To have. The clips that I've seen on social media of people that don't bath are usually white people. I rarely see black people saying I don't bath. It's just a thing. We bath a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about this 3 times a week business. So that lady in that time,
3 times a week. That's a thing. No, it is a thing.
It's understandable. Do you get me? So
big up all the white people that bath every day because
no, shout out Uno. But yeah, not bathing every day is wild. Like I understand when you have a little lazy day, you ain't been working or you're at home. Fine, you're in your own space. But the minute you go into public space,
you need to
be considerate of other people's noses.
You know what? Honestly, I love the white people in this, so don't be offended. But back in school, what used to really make me feel uncomfortable?
Talk to me, because if it's the same thing as me, I'll vomit now.
You know when white people eat pasta?
Oh, I hated it.
And you see the red pasta.
I hated it.
It actually, to this day, it proper makes me feel sick. Is that the same one?
Yes, because I was about to say, you see this here, and then you're talking to me. I'm like, just do this or
when they have the dry sides or the ones with the pasta?
No, pasta hair.
No, pasta.
Because there used to be ravioli when I was in school, But also, what I hate is spit hair.
Yeah, that
can make me like genuinely vomit. Like I can feel sick. Like even think about it now. I could on this table right now. I could just.
You could just release.
What is getting in the shower without washing your legs? Trickle down hygienity, right? It doesn't work. So just a reminder, when you're in the shower, white people, we need to be singing head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right? We need to wash everything in between those parts. I believe in you. We can undo all of our problematic things that we keep passing on. And we can wash our legs. We can. We really can. And we can teach others to do that as well.
Let's cook. Okay, people, I was listening to this guy, who I'm not going to name, and he was speaking about how single mothers are destroying America, how single mothers in America seem to be a major issue. Single mothers seem to be the root of a lot of problems in America. And we do have a lot of proof that children who come from single mothers are less likely to succeed. They are more likely to get involved in a life of crime, to hurt people, to end up in prison. And a great example of this in America that I found was this community in Willersburg, Ohio. Now, this place, Willersburg, Ohio, 100% white American, 100% white American single mothers. If there are single mothers there, they are all white. Now, what's going on is the single mothers in this community were taking their children to a man, actually a male monster by the name of Larry Porter, in exchange for drugs, okay? So the single mothers would take their children to this guy, okay? They would get drugs, and Larry Porter would get to do whatever he wants to do with them. Now, this right here, this video is kind of about these single mothers and Larry Porter, how this all works together, okay? How this all works together. Now, you may be thinking, well, why are these single mothers taking their children to this guy, this male monster? Well, because that's what Larry Porter likes. He likes them age 3 to 13. I'm not going to say everything. He lives and breathes for this. This is what he does. This guy, Larry Porter, also has daughters who are white single mothers also, and they help him do this. He has family members that help him do this. This guy had a full operation going on, drugs, little people, in exchange for each other. Bring the little people, I'll give you the drugs so you can get high. You can get your pills, you can get whatever else. And this guy, in order to do what he wants to do, Larry Porter, he is dependent on the single mothers in the white community in this place. Bring him what he wants, and he'll give them what they want. Listen, people, they found out, the Department of Justice said that the FBI's child exploitation task started to investigate this guy, Larry Porter, in around April of 2019. They got reports from some sources that he gave parents of male and female small people illegal drugs in exchange for receiving their consent to abuse their children. And you know which way, SA people, to SA their children. That's what the Department of Justice said. It's in their files and their reports. Thorough investigation on this guy and these single mothers who are destroying America. So this guy, Larry Porter, he was arrested, right? And he was arrested, of course, with the help of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, where he's from, where he's at. When he's doing this, they had a sting operation, and they found all kinds of things, Facebook messages, deals that he was swinging, He would pay $80 to get access to people who are 7, girls, boys. This is no joke, people. These are the male monsters that thrive in communities for years. You have these male monsters and you have these single white mothers who are enabling them, who are a major problem in the destruction of America. When he's doing America. So this guy, Larry Porter, he was arrested, right? And he was arrested, of course, with the help of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, where he's from, where he's at. When he's doing this, they had a sting operation and they found all kinds of things, Facebook messages, deals that he was swinging. He would pay $80 to get access to people who are 7, girls, boys. This is no joke, people. These are the male monsters that thrive in communities for years. You have these male monsters and you have these single white mothers who are enabling them, who are a major problem in the destruction of America. So I guess what this guy was talking about was these were the single mothers that he was talking about, okay? The authorities said that the victims and additional sources told the FBI and the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations that Larry Porter did this to small people, and when he would do this, he would make videos, skits and pictures and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And he would save them. He would save this stuff on flash drives. And they said that he used very extreme methods to conceal this stuff he was doing. So these single mothers were a major problem in this community with this guy, Larry Porter, and their youths, boys and girls. They brought them to him. They were handing them over. And when they handed them over, Larry Porter would give them drugs. And this would go on for years, people. This guy even tried to get smart. And this is what this guy, Larry Porter, would do to try to cover himself. He would tell these single mothers, okay, he would take advantage of them. He would tell them that we can swing this deal, drugs for the small ones, but you have to do something to these small people first and let me record it so that I can use this just in case you try to come out and say anything. You get what I'm saying? So that's how he would blackmail them. They would bring them to him. Okay, Larry, we got the small people. Here we go. She's 4, he's 2, he's whatever. He's 7, he's 9, she's 8. And he would say, okay, well, just so I can trust you and that you don't tell me, first, let me record you doing something to your own child or the child that you bring. And then I can go ahead and do what I want to do. That way I can blackmail. That way he got something on him. And yes, they would do this. They would do this. When this guy got busted, finally, not all of these women went down with him because, listen, it was so many of these single mothers in his community that they considered a lot of these women to be victims. He got busted, he was arrested, and while he was in jail, when he got caught for doing this, he made numerous phone calls and sent out numerous letters to relatives and associates to have them come to court for him and lie under oath and convince other witnesses to lie to the authorities and things like that. He was really working it from there, okay? And when they arrested him, they put this guy, Larry Porter's house under surveillance. They put his house under surveillance. And when they put his house under surveillance, they seen his daughters, who are also single mothers, named Dina and Crystal Porter. They were seen making multiple trips to their father, Larry Porter's house, digging holes in the ground. So they're like, what's going on? Why are they digging these holes in the ground? So when the authorities went and searched the ground where these daughters, his daughters, Dina and Crystal, were digging, they found SD memory cards buried inside of glass jars. And on these memory cards was, of course, the movies and things like that. Just use your imagination. You don't even want to use your imagination of what he was doing with the little people and what he was getting these single mothers to do for blackmail and things like that. And they know it was him and everything because he's on it. And it was also shot in his bedroom. So these are his 2 older daughters trying to cover this for him. Now, there were also 9 people who went down with him who were charged in this disgusting thing that he was doing. Of course, like I said, his 2 daughters, Dina Sue Porter, she's 32, and Crystal Porter, 39. You can see they have the same last name as him. They're single mothers as well. These are the single mothers who are destroying America. In addition, he has quite a few knuckle-dragging beasts as friends, quite a few other male monsters that he hang out with. Some guy named Frank Andrews, David Cole. They were also making trips to his property, trying to cover things up in the house for him when he was arrested. They were caught destroying evidence and things like that. They also found Facebook messages between this guy, Larry Porter, and this guy, David Cole, discussing things, nasty things that they were doing as far as, in the traffic, doing the traffic thing, SA stuff, They also arrested a white American mayo monster by the name of Joshua David Aldridge. They say that he transported small people to Larry Porter's home as well in exchange for pills and drugs and things like that. They arrested somebody named Charity Ann Rawls, 41, Ronnie Rawlins. They were caught taking somebody who was 7 years of age to Larry Porter's home on a regular so that he can do what he wanted to do in exchange for pills. And unfortunately, this person who they were taking, they said that this person, they would take this small person to Larry Porter's house for at least 5 years straight, a few times a week. So imagine what kind of mindset this person has now. 7 years of age, it started all the way up. That's really messed up. Now, again, like I said, people previously, all of the single mothers who were doing this in this community did not go down because they were seen as victims, most of them. But they do have a couple who did go down with him. For some reason, they decided that maybe they were the most involved in this. And they were accused of SAing several children between the ages of 3 and 13. These women are Megan Richmond, Tasha Stringer, and Catherine McMullen. They all were charged with the R word. They had high bonds. They said that these women took multiple small people to Larry Porter's house where, again, like I said, I told you what he would do. Okay, they would bring the small people, then they would get the drugs, but he would make them do that, as blackmail, just in case they went out and tried to say something or tell. He would say, listen, I got you on video doing this with your own children and with your friends' children who come with you. So that's what they were doing, people. He would tell them, he would tell one mother to go recruit some of her friends, and then they would come with their other friends. And, these people were just a whole disgusting community. I mean, I can't even say all the things that they have, that these people were doing, but just use your imagination that there are people like this who hobble amongst the earth, people, knuckles dragging on the ground doing these things. These women were bringing their own children. So it'll be 3 or 4 of them. They all going to Larry Porter's house with their children. And when they got there, it'll be like, okay, well, you do that to her daughter, you do that to her son, you know what I mean? Getting them on camera to use as blackmail. This is what these people were doing. These are the single mothers that they're talking about who are destroying America. These people aren't taking advantage of being white in America. This is what they're doing. You got these people, the government goes and builds entire industries for these people to survive and thrive, yet they would rather do this than get a job. Absolutely disgusting. 5 years of age, people. 3 years of age, 12, 11. This guy, Larry Porter, even had his cousin involved. He has a cousin named Earl Wayne Porter. He was charged with him. And the Department of Justice said that this cousin, Earl Wayne Porter, they have them talking about how some people who they think were snitching on them, and he pretty much told his cousin to go out there and take this person up out of here, go push this person because they talking. We think they talking. So Larry Porter told his cousin Earl Porter to go ahead out there and push this person. These people were in their 60s, y'all, 50s. Said, put a slug in that son of a B.I., So this guy, Larry Porter, for years had something that the white community wanted, was drugs. These communities are 100% white. He's been the plug for years. He has access to drugs. So he used that power that he had to exploit these single mothers. And that's what he did. Hundreds of women doing this. Okay? They were considered victims. And some were arrested. An absolutely sick guy. This guy, Larry Porter, people, to cap it off, this guy, Larry Porter, right? He has one daughter that did not participate or agree with what he was doing. She was not a participant, nor was she arrested. But they did pull up some messages on Facebook between Larry Porter and this daughter. Larry Porter sent his daughter a picture of a small girl, and it said, "This is my girlfriend. Don't show anyone. Isn't she pretty?" Then the daughter blasted her father with a message that said, "I told you not to talk to me about this SHIT. Do you realize your granddaughter is probably the same age?" Then he wrote, "LOL, but she's not my granddaughter. I couldn't be with my own family." And his daughter replied, "I know she's not, Dad, but she's young. There's still good-looking ones that are over 18. And then the dad, Larry Porter, replied, "That's true, but this one is stone dead in love." This is how sick these people are, y'all. These are the communities that they don't like people to know about. They like to write about what's going on and Chicago and other places in this community. And keep in mind, these communities where these black people reside are communities where the state and local government is heavily involved in everything that's bad that's going on. The drugs, the guns, they're planting guns, City Hall is selling drugs, you have these politics. It's absolutely disgusting. They're the ones doing it. But you got these communities right here where all these single mothers live at that they're talking about, I guess, who are destroying America. Guys like Larry Porter. And this daughter that he just talked with on Facebook, man, the Facebook message that I just went over, she wasn't charged or arrested, but you notice she wasn't going to turn her father in. This is a grown woman. I mean, these people are absolutely disgusting. Americans don't care about children, man. And y'all know who I'm talking about when I say Americans don't care about children. And people, listen, this is kind of a two-part story because it's about the single mothers who are destroying America. Again, this was inspired by something I was listening to. Some guy was talking about how single mothers are the number one problem in America. And I'm like, okay, this is them. And there's also about this male monster, Larry Porter, and what he's been doing for years, exploiting single mothers in his own white community. Nobody did nothing. You know what I'm saying? People, what do you know about this? Anyway, easy.
TikTok. Watch the garbage unfold.
Old, it really doesn't matter as long as he's white and available. There's babes so desperate for a whitey. No black man stands a chance. Oh. If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl, in search of a white man. The white man, white man, the white man, white man, in search of a whitey, a whitey, whitey, a whitey, whitey. Some of them are desperate, ooh, so desperate, just to hook a whitey to marry. It could be English, American, even Indian, or a nation. Just as long as his skin is white, it's okay. Go old, it really doesn't matter as long as he's white and available. There's babes so desperate for a whitey. No black man stands a chance. Oh. If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl, in search of a white man. The white man, white man, the white man, white man, in search of a whitey, a whitey, whitey, a whitey, whitey. Some of them are desperate, ooh, so desperate, just to hook a whitey to marry. It could be English, American, even Indian, or a nation. Just as long as his skin is white, it's okay. They're like hunters searching for meat. White meat, there's babes are in heat. It doesn't matter where he comes from, as long as it's white and has a lust. It could be young or old, it really doesn't matter as long as he's white and available. There's babes so desperate for a whitey. No black man stands a chance. Oh. If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl, in search of a white man. The white man, white man, the white man, white man, in search of a whitey, a whitey, whitey, a whitey, whitey. Some of them are desperate, ooh, so desperate, just to hook a whitey to marry. It could be English, American.
TikTok. Watch the garbage unfold.
Or old, it really doesn't matter as long as he's white and available. Those babes so desperate for a whitey. No black man stands a chance. Oh. If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you. In the world, the white is right, but black is wrong. If you're black, nothing for you. If you're white, there's plenty for you. Desperate babes on the prowl, in search of a white man. The white man, white man, the white man, white man, in search of a white man.